I'm here in Brixton, which is one of the most multicultural areas within London and has one of the largest concentrations of African Caribbean communities within the UK. And I'm here today to look at a special exhibition devoted entirely to the Rastafarian community and their contribution within the UK. Rastafari in Motion tells the rarely told story of the presence of Emperor Haile Selassie I and the emergence of the Rastafari movement in Britain. It's also in celebration of the 80th anniversary of Emperor Haile Selassie I's appearance before the League of Nations, his 4-year residency in Bath, and his influence on the rising consciousness of black youth from the 1960s onwards. The exhibition holds artefacts citing Mussolini's invasion of Ethiopia in the 1930s and the importance of both British and Pan-African groups in their support of Haile Selassie in the UK.
Pan-Africanism is in the heart of the Rastafari movement. But in terms of Pan-Africanism as a movement, certainly you can see the initiation of Pan-Africanism in the works of His Majesty when he came to Britain in 1936. And all these organizations who were in Britain came to his aid, came around him. You know, the Friends of Ethiopia, the Gold Coast Aborigines Protected Society.
It's an exhibition that took 4 years to complete. Black Cultural Archives are the first to present the exhibition, which was first shown at the National Museum of Ethiopia in Addis Ababa in 2014, and it's the first of its kind in the United Kingdom. This exhibition not only introduces the mystic world of Rastafari, but takes a closer look at the contributions made to British society by Rastas, and specifically during the 60s and 70s, where many young Caribbeans were turning to an alternative identity.
That generation was kind of lost in a kind of moral wasteland. You know, they weren't included in the educational system. Their history was not included. You had British history that didn't really relate to them, except in an oppressive sense that, you know, we were former slaves. So there was no appreciation or highlighting of values that related to that generation, that post-Windrush generation that grew up in Britain, you know, after the 50s, 60s, etc.
The Rasta community are also shown in the exhibition to have been instrumental in fighting racism and standing up for justice.
We find that Rastafari thinking has played a very important role in the uplifting of black people in Britain, in making them see perhaps being more conscious of themselves, of their own identity, as distinct from being, you know, just amalgamated into the British system and, you know, straightening their hair and dyeing, you know, and you know, whitening their skin, and all these values that negate Africa's beauty, Africa's power, Africa's self.